Hello and welcome back to my channel. If it's your first time here, hi, what's up? I'm Gemma and I talk a lot about user experience and user interface design. If that's something you're interested in, then why not hit that subscribe button. Let's get into the video, shall we? Let's talk about design tools. Sometimes they can be very expensive. I mean, when you look at software or hardware or anything you need to run software, it can be quite daunting and maybe put you off from being a UX designer. But what if I told you you don't need to spend a lot to get started? I mean, it can be pretty cheap to get started. So here's a list of all the tools that can help you get started in becoming a UX designer. First things first, let's start off simple, shall we? As a UX designer, you're going to be scribbling down ideas quite a lot, and you don't need any fancy technology for this. You don't need an iPad and you don't need an Apple Pencil. Actually, all you really need is paper and some pens. And the reason you need to do this is because you are going to be scribbling down wireframes pretty much on paper all day, every day. It's what we do. Personally, the pen I like to use is called a Uni Fineliner or a Uni Pen Fineline, which I like to use the 0.5 edition, which is this one here. And the reason why I like this is because it has a really thin tip and it's quite easy to doodle with. Apart from that, I also use a Sharpie. Now, everyone loves a Sharpie, and I like this one the best because it comes in two tips. So you got the thin tip and you have the thick tip. Very, very useful tool. I also prefer to work on a notepad, which is actually blank paper. Now, what I mean by blank paper, I mean paper which has no lines or no dots. And the reason why I like to do this is because it gives me a lot more freedom to draw and illustrate and kind of be a bit more free and fluid when I'm designing some wireframes on paper. And since we're on the topic of writing, post-it notes. Now, these are really, really, really useful. Any UX designer will tell you that they pretty much spend all day writing on post-it notes. They're really useful when you're trying to work out the process of things or when you're working in workshops. Post-it notes are the way to go, and what I like to write on these with is a Sharpie, usually the thick tip because it's nice and bold and you can pretty much see it a bit better with these. So yeah, post-it notes and a Sharpie is a great essential. Next on the list is a laptop. Now, these can be pretty expensive, especially if you want something which is Apple, a Mac, which is normally the essential tool for designers. But just so you know, you do not need an Apple Mac to get started as a UX designer. You can pick up some laptops pretty cheap these days, and the reason why I'm recommending a laptop over a desktop is because a laptop kind of comes with everything that you need. It has a nice screen, has a keyboard, and it also has a trackpad, so you don't have to spend money on getting a keyboard or mouse. You can do everything in one place. Laptops are also really useful for when you're going for interviews. You're able to open up and show your portfolio, and it's also easy for working from home or working from a coffee shop or anything else in between. Laptops is definitely the way to go. And since we're talking about hardware, now let's talk about software. And the software I kind of recommend for you to all use is Figma. Now, why do I recommend Figma? Because Figma is cross-platform. It can also be used on an Apple laptop, or it can also be used on a PC. Also, Figma is free to use, which is amazing. For the first 3 projects, you can just set up an account and get going. Software such as Sketch are Mac only, so if that's something you do want to use, then you will have to spend the money and get an Apple laptop or an iMac. But yeah, Figma is free for 3 projects, and if you need to start paying, it's pretty cheap. Currently at $12 per month, which is about £9.38, I believe. Also, I am not sponsored by Figma. I just think Figma is a great tool and is definitely worth a try, especially if you're a beginner and you're just getting into UX. And last but not least, I recommend getting a good pair of headphones. Now, it doesn't have to be the Apple AirPods, even though I generally love these. They're fantastic. But you could just get a pair of over-the-head headphones with a lead attached, as long as it has a mic. I recommend getting a mic. And the reason why I say this is because we're finding ourselves in a new normal where we tend to work from home a lot more, and I can guarantee you're going to be involved in a lot of meetings where it's a lot easier to hear people if you have a pair of headphones and a clear microphone. And also, if you're just starting out in UX, especially now with everything that's going on, you're going to be interviewing, and your interview is probably not going to be face-to-face. It's probably going to be an interview via Zoom or Google Hangouts or some other platform that way. And again, headphones will greatly benefit you, as you'll be able to hear a lot more, and also the person on the other end will be able to hear you as well. And not only that, headphones are really useful when you're trying to solve problems and you just need to drown out the sound. Maybe you are in an office environment and the office can be quite loud. Just a pair of headphones will help you concentrate, and also you get to listen to your favourite tunes, so not a really bad thing to go. But yeah, I would definitely recommend getting a pair of headphones, which will, trust me, you'll thank me for it. You really will. And that's it. That's my list of tools to help you get started in UX. I've also linked everything below that you may need, so anything that I've talked about in this video will all be in the description below, so if you need anything to refer to, it's down there. And last but not least, if you like this type of content, why not like and subscribe and get notified every time I upload a new video. If you'd like to follow me over on Instagram, you can do so here. And until next time, bye!